Hey everybody. This is the video I was hoping I wouldn't have to make for the last 6.5 months, but here we are. Many of you know this story or parts of this story, so I'm going to keep it brief as I can, and give you the cliff notes. I had a big bike accident in 2021. I had many surgeries after that. The last surgery was meant to be a hip replacement in 2024. Unfortunately, the surgeon put the hip replacement prosthetic in at the wrong angle, and I had to have a revision, which is a pretty big surgery, in December of last year, 2025. 6 weeks after that surgery, I started to develop signs of an infection. An infection on a hip replacement or close to a hip replacement is catastrophic. It's the worst possible outcome from a hip replacement. I knew this, so I went to the emergency room a dozen times. I emailed my surgeon twice a week for 4 weeks. When nothing was done, I went to my GP and I said, "You have to help me, no one's helping me." And when that help did come, unfortunately, it was too late. We did an emergency surgery in April. The infection came back. We did another one in the beginning of May, and again, the infection came back. And now it's been established that the bacteria has found its way to the actual prosthetic, the metal and the ceramic of the prosthetic. And once it gets on there, you can't get it off. There is no amount of IV antibiotics that will actually remove that bacteria. So the only fix for it is a pretty barbaric process called a two-stage hip revision. The first surgery, they go in, they break my femur, they take the prosthetic out. I live for 3 months without a hip, and they give me antibiotics every day. Once they're sure that the infection is cleared, they go back in and they put a much bigger prosthetic into my leg. It is a pretty big deal. It is a couple of surgeries that aren't without consequence, that aren't without risks. Function-wise, after this is all said and done, I don't know where I'm going to be. There's a lot of question marks. The goal for these two surgeries, for most people, is to get back to a functional life, which for most people who are 75 who have to get these surgeries, is to be able to walk to the coffee shop 2 blocks away without using a cane. That's obviously not my goal. My life up until very recently has been all about adventure and speed and mountain biking and skiing and motorbiking and climbing mountains. That's what makes me happy. That's my meditation. That's my church. Being outdoors in the mountains with my friends. And that has unfortunately been stolen from me. And the next year will be the deciding factor as to whether or not I get it back. And there's a lot of question marks. The last 2 years, it would be an understatement to say, have been very difficult. The financial cost, the fact that my career has basically come to a halt, all but a halt because of this. I haven't been able to do the things that I love doing. The pain obviously has been pretty consistent, and now an uncertain future, because I found myself in the 1% of the 1% a couple of times over. The hardest thing has been my identity has kind of been stripped away from me, and yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but I refuse to be a victim. I am not a religious person. I am in awe of the universe when I look up at the sky at night. I am intensely curious about it, but I also think that it's ambivalent. I don't think there is anyone looking down on me, protecting me. I think it's up to me to get through this, and that's what I'm going to do. So the next 12 months of whatever I put out on whatever social media I happen to be on is probably going to be about my hip. And if you're sick and tired of hearing about my hip, I totally understand, because I am fucking sick and tired of talking about it. But I've got a lot of energy inside me. I've got a lot of energy that I would usually burn on a bike or a motorbike or whatever, and I've got nowhere to channel it. So I'm going to document every step of the way. The good, the bad, the ugly. I think it's important to be transparent, not just with the wins, but also the losses. And if you are curious as to how I go through this, I am going to show you. Everyone that is on Instagram that's inquiring, like, how are you doing? How's your recovery? I haven't met most of you. I likely never will meet most of you, but it's been very humbling, and it's a very nice slice of humanity to have people like yourselves reach out to me. So thank you very much. For the people in my life that have stayed by me throughout all this, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you are in 2027 right now, and you can just swipe right to the next video, you can see how this all played out. Please tell me, because I would really like to know what this looks like in a year's time. But I'm going to go through it and keep you guys up to date along the way. So yeah, take care of yourselves. Go outside and move your body if you can. Take care of your homies, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.